Yo, people, believe it or not, I met a bass player once again. This time it was Chris Rodriguez, who plays with the famous German band Revolverheld. And the funny thing about the interview, of course, was two German guys sitting there doing an interview in English. So we were switching back and forth, English and German, for a few times during the interview. You'll find that out. We were talking about the band, we were talking about Chris bringing in ideas sound wise, songwriting wise, whatever. We were talking about should music in general be more political. We were talking about the band's activities for protecting the environment. We were talking about baseball and all these different topics. We met during GitCon, and we were sitting at the Warwick and Framus headquarters, Woodstock, actually. That was our quiet space for the interview. So I hope you enjoy the talk we did, and thanks for the subscription to my channel. Thanks for the like, and hopefully see you next time. Bye. Hey Chris, good to see you again, man.
Hi Uwe, nice to be here.
When was the last time? Was it NAMM show?
Yes, in January actually. January the last week we saw last time. And before that the 35-year anniversary
No,
of...
I think I saw a show in Stuttgart. You were playing
Ah, true. Yes, but what was it?
Kid something?
Cat Frankie.
Cat Frankie.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good choice.
You mean music-wise or what?
Yes, music.
Yeah,
yes.
sure. Yeah, you're playing with a famous German band, Revolverheld,
Correct.
who of course is completely unknown abroad.
Yes.
How is it to play in such a successful band and nobody knows you?
First of all, I would say for me personally, it doesn't matter if we're talking about Germany or abroad, because I'm the bass player. I'm a hired gun for that band, and only hardcore fans really know who I am. So I'd say it's kind of nice, because even before a show, I can normally go outside, look for my friends, chat with them, and I don't know, the maximum was probably 3 selfies or something I had to take. So I enjoy that, to be honest. In the beginning, it was a bit weird, I guess, but now I've seen how stressful it can be to be a person of the public life.
To be in the
Yes.
spotlight.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the thing for you personally. I meant for the band. Is there any ideas to get international?
Not really seriously or with a timetable, I would say. But of course, we're talking about, like, sometimes we talk about, hey, it would be nice to tour in the States. Maybe one day we'll do an album in English and stuff like that. But I think as long as we're that busy in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and sometimes places like Luxembourg, we played in Paris as well. I think it's just not, the time is not there, and it would be kind of weird to start all over again, I think, like in the States, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we played a small club tour, for example, here in Germany in April 2018, and it was nice. It was a really nice experience to do that again. But I think it's just not necessary at the moment. I'd say that. I mean, maybe they have plans already. I don't know.
Who knows?
We
yeah.
would love to do that. That's not the question.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about the when it comes to German pop rock kind of thing? There's a lot of bands, musicians out there, and a lot of people tend to say that everything sounds the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there? Do you think of getting, I don't know, more unique or more kind of different to the others? Because when I listen to the radio, we have a lot of German music nowadays on the radios, and I actually can hardly tell who it is.
Yes, I I mean, I can, obviously, because most of the guys you hear on the radio are my friends, and I know about all the music, and some of them I've played for, but I actually know what you mean, I think. Um, I mean, it sounds weird to say that, but for example, Revolverheld, I have the feeling that talking about my part, the bass part, it's since. Or let's start over again. I think the thing at the moment is you have many solo artists if you watch closely, because you don't have that many bands anymore. I don't know what it is, if record companies don't want to deal with 5 people instead of 1 and the management or something like that. But it tends to be, the production tend to be more about the singer, and what happens in the background is, let's say, it's not that you don't have people who are ambitious to put their stuff on the record. So what I can say about making the record with Revolverheld is that I'm, for a bass player in German pop music, I'm allowed to do very much. So that's why I think that's where we kind of divide from all these other artists, because everyone is putting so much love in his instrument. Because especially the 4 guys who are in the band, obviously. And but I can totally understand that if you're not into the scene of German pop music, that it's hard to tell who sings what, to be honest. But maybe it's even though, because you're not really into the stuff, because
Right.
if you show me like 4 metal artists, I would probably not be able to tell you who it is, or if it's twice the same, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of, it sounds weird to put to say that someone is really into the German pop rock scene, because it's not about like the playing of the music. Let's say it's more the songs are in the middle
Yeah.
of in the center of attention.
And when you say you're pretty much allowed to do whatever you want, are you talking about bass lines, or talking about sounds, or songwriting, or what is it? What do you bring to the table when it comes to?
A bit of it all, to be honest. I think a very, very good thing for me and the band is that we know the producer for a long time. I actually went to school with our producer, and we know each other really well, because I had my very first band with him, Philipp Steinke. He's one of the best guys around in Germany right now. He's busy, he's writing all over the place with all the artists around. And actually, I'd say it's almost a bit of everything. Sound-wise, we have the same taste, so it's not very hard to find. We don't have to make compromises, you know what I mean? And I know what he's looking for, and he knows what I like to play. And sometimes even little bass lines that I play or he comes up with, becoming like a riff that's almost like very important for the song. So I actually never felt that free to do something in the studio like I feel with Revolverheld, which is beautiful.
Which is great,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. And you did a custom shop bass with Warwick.
Yes.
Was that, sound-wise, was that completely your choice, or do you have in mind, or did you have in mind, like what fits the band sound, or what do they want to hear from me?
Yes and no. I'd say I was looking for my sound, but it's the sound that'll fit in Revolverheld, Cat Frankie, Philipp Dittberner, all the guys I play for, actually. So I was looking for a like warm sound, almost I hate to say the word vintage, you know, like I wanted to have a Warwick that sounds as warm as possible. Let's say it like that.
And you're also into synth bass playing, right?
Yes.
I know you had the idea of bringing in a synth thing to your bass.
Yeah, that was the first idea. True.
Are you when it comes to synth bass, are you using pedals, or are you actually using like keyboards?
Mainly keyboards. I have a Novation bass station, which I really like. It's really easy to handle. I take that with me almost every time we play the songs like That Loud That It Comes to Synth Bass, because obviously we have acoustic versions where I just play bass or the alien bass or whatever. But I'm taking this one, and in the new program of Revolverheld, the new program is actually there are lots of synth things going on. So I even play like with the left hand I play a Uno, and with the right hand I play some bass lines, and I use plugins even for that. And there are like one or two songs where I use like the Electroharmonics Microsynth and the Woolly Mammoth or wie heißt das Ding? Musst du gleich schneiden.
Have you checked the new Pictronics synth pedal?
No,
Oh,
I
that's
really want to
cool.
do that.
That's cool. I checked it out this morning, and it's really cool.
Okay.
You might like it.
Yeah, great. No, I'm actually looking for something that's giving me a great synth sound for the bass as well. I heard about that Octavre thing from Three Leaf from Tim Lefebvre. That's supposed to be really great as well. So, yeah, I will check that out definitely.
And you want to replace this the keyboard part then, or?
It depends. If I find something that's cooler or better sounding than I want it, probably I would do that. It's not that I say I really want to play like keys on that part, but some of the plugins I use on stage are actually the plugins we had on the record. So normally you try to get like the sound you have on the record.
Yeah, right.
So I'm using this one, but of course there are like 2 or 3 songs where I would like to stand in the front, because with Revolverheld I have 2 positions: in the front with the bass and singing, and in the back playing all those key stuff. And sometimes I feel like there would be a song that would be way more fitting to play it in the front. So if I find something to substitute that, I'd gladly do this.
And you say you're on 2 positions mainly on stage. Obviously, you're using an in-ear system.
Yes.
Do you also use like a bass shaker or something?
No, actually no, not with Revolverheld. Well, not yet at all. But I'm thinking about taking this, how is it called? This board where you stand on. Because with Philip Dittberner, Cat Frankie, I have like positions where I stand the whole concert. But with the Revolverheld, we have wireless systems, and we're running all over the place, getting off stage even. I'm going onto the riser. I don't know how that should work. And to be honest, the bigger the stages get, the less it is a problem. We 3 times this year we had the problem. The singer said, "We have to change something. The floor is vibrating so hard. I cannot work like it." And I was like, "Well, I like it." But actually, there was one gig. The last gig we had there was such a horrible bass right underneath my position that I had to move my position because it was like almost getting my in-ears out of my ears because it was vibrating so hard. So it's cool up to a point, but it can get very annoying. So
yeah, right.
I'm not missing that with Revolverheld, to be honest. But I thought about that using it on. I'm standing on a riser at a Cat Frankie concert the whole time, so it would actually make sense.
And
Let's see.
how did you come into the German music or German pop rock scene? When I think of my musical upbringing, I was playing in cover bands and, of course, covering all the 70s American English bands. And yeah, that was kind of it. How was the step into the German scene?
I actually did that as well when I was like 17, 18. I started to play in a cover band with my dad. He's a professional drummer. And then I started playing in things like Carthago when they reunited, or Gerhard Schöne, a singer-songwriter. But
You played with Carthago?
yes,
Damn.
yes,
Fuck.
there's a live DVD. I can give it to you.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's what they call Krautrock,
yes,
actually.
Krautrock.
Yeah.
The DVD is from a Krautrock festival.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
And it was fun. I learned a lot, but I hope it's okay if I say that it was mainly old people, like in the age of my father, like about between 40 and 50 years old. And
At the time.
yes. And then slowly there was Cat Frankie calling me like 12 years ago, "Hey, I need a bass player." I started playing with her. And actually the thing how I got into the Revolverheld band was just like 4 or 5 Zufälle by accident,
Yeah.
more or less, because I went to school with a producer. I went to school with the best friend of the singer of Revolverheld, who is doing this proposal in our video. I don't know, you know our videos? No, never mind. Yeah, and they both were in my band. Then I met Johannes 2002 via
Who's
my
the
best
singer?
friend, who's the singer, Johannes Strate, right? And then he told me to go to the pop course, which is a workshop in Hamburg, which is really good. And then, like every half a year, I saw Johannes at some occasions, mainly not music, just hanging out with friends. And then he started to make a solo album, and I went to have lunch with the producer, with Philip again. And I said, hey, I want to play on the record, actually. I know Johannes, I like him, he likes me. Let me play. So I played one song, and Johannes and I felt that we liked each other a lot, so it clicked from the first moment, making music together. And then he asked me to go on tour with him, and I said, of course. So I toured with him for 2.5 years, and then they got the spot open at Revolverheld, and so it was actually no audition or anything. They just asked me, do you want to do it? And I was like, hell yeah.
So he
Because
was in Revolverheld actually at that time.
yeah, the Revolverheld is around since 2002, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. They actually, we had a concert in Berlin with like 15 people. It was Revolverheld, named Manga back then, and my band. So that's how long they are around. And yeah, they were not looking for like I know 10 guys who could do my job bass playing wise, but of course if you, for
Is
a band
10
that's,
only?
sorry, 11. But they're looking for a guy who's not an asshole, to be honest. You know, you're hanging out like 200 days a year in a bus or something.
Yeah,
You
right.
need someone who's nice and
Mhm.
you want to hang out with and who can play a little bass. That's the
So
main thing, I guess.
the people you know come down to 2. by
Yes.
Then, yeah. Not being
it's
an
me
asshole.
and you. Yeah, so that's what I mean, it still feels like I was kind of lucky, to be honest.
Mhm.
I just talked about that with some artists, because you have the feeling like you can get up to a certain level with hard work, and after that, in my opinion,
It's
you need
right
to
place, right time.
right
Yeah.
place, right time. A lot of socializing, going places, talking
Mhm.
to people,
Mhm.
being a nice guy, doing card tricks,
Yeah,
all that stuff.
He's doing card tricks as hell.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you have a deck with
No,
you?
actually no.
Oh,
We can
that
do it
would be-
later.
that would be fun.
I show you one later. You can
Yes,
cut it
yes,
into.
yes, please. Yes, and besides playing with all these artists, what are you doing besides that? Is that filling your pocket, or is that enough for you? Because as you said, you're not a part of the band; you're just a hired
Yes.
gun. And when they do not tour, you don't get money, right?
That's true.
And what do you do then?
Like I said, I play for Kid Frankie, who's actually doing very well since like the last, like, say 18 months, I guess. And I play for Philipp Dittberner, who had a big hit 2 years ago. And but true, when it came down to, well, let's say it like this: we had an album out. Normally you do a break after that, but we didn't, because then MTV Unplugged came and asked, "Do you want to do MTV Unplugged?" So we started doing that.
So Revolverheld, people.
Yes.
Revolverheld did MTV Unplugged.
it's great,
So
seriously.
just to put it in perspective,
Yes.
who that is.
Yes, and then we played an arena tour with like between 5 and 12,000 people, and everything was going great. But I was constantly touring with one band for 5 years. Here and there I could do one single gig with Kat or Philip. But what happened is there was the last show. I remember exactly the last note I played, because Johannes was turning back to me and was mouthing like, "That's it." Like, you've been touring for 2 years with the whole program, and you played this song in this version for the very last time.
Yeah.
Very heartbreaking. And after that, I realized my schedule is empty, actually. We had the point where we started making an album. They had to write songs. I had appointments for studio and stuff like that. That was totally fine, but there was actually like 4 months where I did nothing live, actually, because obviously no one will call because everyone thinks you're busy.
You're on tour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
right.
was like, so that's what I meant with socializing. I start going out. I told people, hey, I'm available. We're writing an album, and that actually works. So people say, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that, and then they asked you to play for them, and I started teaching for about a year, which was fun, but now it's getting too much actually. So I'm slowly going back to only playing live.
Okay.
But yeah, true. It's like with all those freelance jobs, it's hard to tell what to do when the time comes where you have nothing to do.
Yeah.
Which is hopefully not in the next. I know it. Until 2:20, I know what to do. So that's pretty good for
That's
a
pretty good.
freelance job.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. And you talked about teaching.
Yes.
You like teaching or don't you?
It depends on the student.
Very well put.
No, but the music school I'm teaching in Hamburg is really cool. Those kids are very motivated because the boss of the school is trying to get little bands together.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not only learning your instrument, but you can play in a band.
Yeah.
So the main thing is teaching those bands, and that's actually a lot of fun to write songs with them. And
Oh,
to
you're
see
doing
them.
originals with these
Yes.
bands?
Yeah.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, one band of mine just recently wrote a song about from the view of a refugee child coming to
Mhm.
Germany. Really heartbreaking, seriously. Very good.
Very good. Cool.
Yeah.
So it's more like more than only teaching them where's the A and where's the E.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, for some reason in that music school, the students that are not motivated, they just quit after like 2 months. So in the end, you only have the guys who really want to learn and be in a
Mhm.
band, and that's cool actually. So it's not about it's not that I quit because it's not fun, but just to save energy
Mhm.
for traveling around. Actually.
Very good.
Yeah.
When you travel, how do you do it? You have nightliners or hotels and flights, or how's it going?
Yeah, it depends. On tour, we have nightliners. For example, the MTV Unplugged tour, we had 5 trucks and 3 buses, around 40 people crew. And when we have single gigs, we try to go by train if possible, because flying is the worst, for the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if it's far away, then we fly. And we bring our instruments, and the truck will go there and bring our gear there or something. So actually, a bit of everything. Like with Cat, we travel in a van and I drive myself. Sometimes,
Very good.
when I can drive.
You mentioned environment and
Yes.
Saving resources for the environment and going by train.
Yes.
I also know that you have been in the Hambacher Forst,
Yes.
which is actually a very can I say problem?
Yes.
Or
It's
that
a topic. It's a very important
it's
topic at the
a
moment.
very important topic in Germany because they want to cut down 12,000-year-old forest in the middle of nowhere,
Yes.
and they want to get coal from under the forest.
Yes.
And
They bought the land actually.
They
so
bought the
it's
land.
actually their land.
yeah, and for Germany wants to get out of
That's the
getting
promise.
energy from coal, but from renewable resources. Of course, there's a lot of protesting going on.
Yes.
And not only because of the energy side, also because of the environment side, because they're animals, like very rare species,
Yeah.
and there's very old trees and stuff. So tell me about your engagement, or maybe your band's engagement in all these environmental
Yes.
things.
So what I really like about Revolverheld is that they're using their power for good. Let's say it like that. And for example, for WWF, I don't know.
World Wildlife Fund.
Yes, they're ambassadors, for example, for avoiding plastic. So, which is, of course, for us on tour, a topic, because you can ask the catering to get like glasses,
Mm-hmm.
real spoons, no plastic, no cans, just bottles made of glass and in best case, like regional stuff. So that's what we're looking into. And this Hambacher Forst thing started actually because I read on the internet that they had a protest like right in the park next to my house.
Mm-hmm.
So I called our drummer, because the rest was on vacation at the time, drummer and one guitarist, and said, hey, let's go there, because it's really that important at the moment. So because Germany has actually promised to stop gaining energy from coal, and suddenly there was in this forest, there were like protesters for years now living in tree houses and stuff like that, and suddenly this company got police in to clear the forest without having the permission to get the coal.
Mm-hmm.
So there were little protests starting in every town, and then we heard about this big protest on the 6th of October. And our drummer has a contact to Greenpeace, and they organized everything. And so we called them and said, hey, we really want to be part of that.
So it was actually a concert of the band, a Revolverheld concert, at that very protest on location?
Yeah, it was. They had a stage and everything, and a big field, and up to a day before, it wasn't sure if it's going to be allowed to do that. So they tried everything actually to cut the protest. But it looked, I think, what they knew, 50,000 people said they would come, and I think they would have come anyway. So they said, well, it's allowed, just do the protest. They had a stage, and some other bands were playing, like Tonbandgerät or a guy from the Wise Guys, and it was just a lovely, peaceful protest, 50,000 people in front of the stage, flags all over
Waving
the
their
place. Yeah,
banners.
it was incredible,
Yeah.
really. And yeah, we could actually take a walk through the forest and see where the tree houses have been. I think they're now building them again. So that was very heartwarming, actually. That's how we think what protests should look like peaceful. The police were completely friendly on our sides. No one was trying to object to anything. It was just lovely.
There's a movie that came out lately about protesting nuclear plant in Germany,
Yes.
Wackersdorf, back in the 80s. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen the movie, but I know the story. So
It's a good movie.
yeah.
I really recommend it.
it's a good example how civiler Ungehorsam, what do you call it? Uprising of the people can have so
Yeah.
much power. So they didn't build that nuclear plant in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stopped. Right. There has been other influences too, like Chernobyl,
Yeah.
which was in
True.
1986. But yeah, it
Crazy,
was in the beginning. It was the protesters.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very good thing.
Yeah.
So
Very
that's what Revolverheld is doing a lot, actually. In December, we're playing in Berlin for homeless people, for a guy called Frank Zander. He's doing a dinner there, and
Oh, he's
it's
doing
w-
that every year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm really glad to play in a band that is really
Caring.
caring about environment. And even we also had like on a biggest TV show we've ever done, we had like a refugees welcome shirts, and it's a good thing that this band is around for so long that they're not afraid anymore to say what they want to say, because everyone who doesn't like what we're saying, then just stop.
can fuck
Yeah,
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Right. So aren't you afraid in your position, or maybe the guys in the band, maybe even more afraid of when you wear T-shirts like "Refugees Welcome" and stuff, and getting really political with that kind of statements?
Of course.
Aren't you afraid of getting negative feedback, not in the way of like Facebook trolls or something, but really physical action?
No, I'd say no, because first of all, that never happened. I mean, maybe we had like signs at some concert. We had concerts. We had signs like "Refugees Welcome," and you have like 3 people in your audience like booing or stuff, and you wonder like what they listening to our music. They don't really listen to our music, what we have to say, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, because it's obvious that it's all about love and caring and
respect
good,
and everything.
respect,
Yeah.
respecting each other, and but that's the worst that ever happened, and I think that's the point to to say what you want to say without being afraid of anything that can happen. I mean, I played for a hip hop artist, for example. We played in Leipzig and Dresden, and he's really left wing. He's like against capitalism, against homophobia, against. Actually, he's not left wing. He's just a good guy. He's not like many other rap artists who are about chicks, money, and I don't know what else, and cars. So we played in Leipzig and Dresden, and he actually got mails that Nazis are going to come to the concerts and fuck it up. So he got some guys he knew from the left wing district in Leipzig, who then came in 15 strong guys,
Like security guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
like but self-made security. Let's say it like this. And even then, he told the band, "Hey, it's like this and that," and we were like, "Yeah, of course we play. That's no reason for us to not do it. So if something happens, we'll see." But I think the thing is that in Germany, it's still kind of it's not that bad with the political uprising of the extremists. I think. I hope so.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, it's getting worse at the moment.
Yeah, right.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
if
and in
that hap-
times where it's getting worse all over the world.
Yes.
You have to stand up. You have to
Yeah, be loud. Say
exactly
something.
say something, and not just get your information from Facebook or Twitter and then think you're
Yes.
informed.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's maybe the upside of it all is that even the pop rock bands, the mainstream bands, are starting to engage in the fight against that. So if you want to get something good out of everyone, out of everything that's going on, then maybe it's that kind of, it feels like the scene is coming together a lot more, even though.
Yeah, but then again, we had events like in Chemnitz, where like right wingers attacked refugees on the street, and there were voices heard criticizing all the German musicians for not standing up and for not telling what they think about the issue.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The funny thing is, I talked about that even with the bands who do the protest, because what you have to say is that there was a big festival
There
in
was a
Chemnitz
big-
as well,
yes,
with
after that, yeah.
50,000 people, and again really lovely and really peaceful and just protesting, and it really showed that the majority of the people aren't assholes. But this, like, say, this mainstream bashing kind of stuff goes on for a couple of years now, and I don't think it's the right time or the right occasion to accuse someone of not doing enough. You know what I mean? It's like we're trying to do our best about this, and actually, again, the good thing is that those bands who are known for doing the protests and the mainstream artists are starting to talk to each other and to try to do something together. So I hope that will happen actually soon.
So you don't think that it's kind of like that the artists, the very successful artists, should really stand up and
No, they
and
should.
say their opinion and use their power they obviously have by reaching millions of people.
No, they definitely should. But I think it's not that easy just to say, just to accuse them of not doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, let's take an example like Helene Fischer. It took her a long time to publicly speak against it, but she did now. And of course, it's easy to say, she should do that. But I'm not the guy to beurteilen, to judge that without knowing the whole background of it
Yeah.
all, why she's not doing it. If someone is doing it because he just don't want to lose fans on either side, that's definitely the wrong way, I think.
So you think music in general should be political or more political?
I mean, I like it when it's political. Let's say it like that. And I hope that everyone is using his power to do good stuff and to save this country or the whole world from falling to pieces. But I also enjoy music that is not political, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say without knowing the exact artist you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hmm.
I mean, some artists it maybe wouldn't even fit if they would get too political, or I don't even know their opinion on anything. So I don't know if I want them to get political.
Yeah, if it's your political opinion
Yeah,
they share, or maybe the counter
Yeah.
opposite.
yeah. I mean, let's talk about good and bad. I mean, we're on the same page. What is good and what is bad. So
That's right.
that's why one of the two people. Yeah, but as you see, it's a difficult topic actually, because obviously my band or the band I play for, Revolverheld, got accused of that as well. But for example, I know that it's not true that we're wearing those T-shirts or that we go to the Hambacher Forst and stuff like that. So I know how we tick and how we think.
Hmm.
So obviously, it's for me it's a bit weird to get accused of that, but yeah, it's part of the mainstream bashing, I guess.
Yeah.
Also,
Has your singer also been invited to like do TV talk shows and stuff?
yes, and he did, yeah, and he's doing it very well. Yes, like I forgot the shows, but yeah, sometimes it's like Johannes is in the talk, or maybe even the whole band, and then we play a song. And we have a song right now. It's called Zimmer mit Blick, which is translated "Room with a View," which is about the whole thing you just mentioned. What am I gonna tell my son later, or what is he gonna tell his son later on, that he just didn't do enough to save the world and stuff like that. And that's obviously a very good song for occasions like that.
Hmm. Very good. So, besides music, I know you're a baseball fan.
Yes.
So, how come that?
It. Let me think. I got to know a Cuban guy back when I was very young, and he was friends with a friend of my mom, and he played baseball because in Cuba you play baseball. So he took me to a baseball practice, and I loved it and started playing for 14 years actually. Then I went to the East Coast for a couple of vacations and fell in love with the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore Orioles. Oh yeah, coincidence. And the player
See, I
Caleb
have the
Jr.
New York Yankees right
Yeah,
here.
that's actually not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not a fan actually of the New York Yankees, but the New York Yankees was the only team I ever saw in their stadium.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it's okay. Oh,
Oops.
then it's okay that you have the hat actually. But
Thank you.
actually, it's like one of the main rivals of my team. So I just realized that. No, so yeah, I mean, like, it feels like I'm one of the 1,000 guys in the whole of Germany who likes baseball, but I enjoy it. I can't play anymore because my shoulder broke down, but I love it. But
Was
I'm not
it
watching
baseball
it at
only, or
No, actually, I like the NFL too.
no?
I'm
I
going-
mean the shoulder. Was it baseball only, or?
yes, only baseball.
Yeah, sure.
Not getting into that. No, yeah, but let's not talk. My team has a negative record season at the moment, and I'm not watching it.
Oh, okay. But in baseball in general, is it when you say your shoulder broke? Is it like you have one role in the team, or is it rotating?
You play certain positions, and I even was a pitcher who throws the ball to the guy who tries to hit it. But you cannot play baseball when you're not able to throw a ball. So my shoulder really hurt, and I still went to the practice in Hamburg when I moved there, and my shoulder hurt, and I threw in a weird way to try to avoid it, and then I hit some balls, and then I fielded some balls, and then the guy came up to me, can I ask you something? And I said, yeah, what is it? You can hit, you can field, but it looks like you've never thrown a ball before. And I was like, man, my shoulder hurts and stuff. And then I went to the doctor, and it was inflamed. Blah blah. I couldn't play anymore. So
Okay.
very sad story.
Yeah.
Now I play golf.
Sad
Like his- yeah,
story, yeah.
That's. It's not a sad story, but it sounds sad. But let's not get into that.
Okay, cool. And what else are you doing besides music and not baseball and golf? Are you into movies or into reading or?
I watch, like everyone, I watch TV shows. Um,
I
re-
don't
I didn't.
actually.
Really?
No, I actually do not even have a TV.
Yeah, you don't need a TV nowadays
No.
to watch TV
That's
shows.
right, but I
you have
don't-
your cell phone. That's enough.
That's right, but I don't have Netflix. I have nothing of that.
Okay.
that.
Good.
I go
then,
to YouTube.
Okay, you're yes. See,
Yeah,
but you're watching something.
yeah, something.
Okay,
Every
see.
now and then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, I'm one of those still childs. I'm still a child who plays like PlayStation sometimes. I do card trick magic.
Mm-hmm.
You know that.
That takes a
And-
lot of practice, right?
Yes. Yes, actually it does.
Yeah, I believe.
It should take. I even should practice that more because it's not nice when you get caught. You
Oh, when someone gets
Yeah.
how you've
Yeah.
done the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do this, then and I try to go outside and do like nice stuff. We played disc golf lately. You know what that is?
No.
It's like golf but with a frisbee. Well, never mind.
Really?
Yes.
And you have to throw it in a basket or a
yeah
hole
in a
or
basket
what?
exactly. There's a basket with chains so it doesn't flip back, and then you go like 150 meters and try it. I regret that I started that.
Yeah. People have time.
Yeah, but to be honest, this year was very busy, so that's actually what I do most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I watch a little bit of soccer, football, whoever is watching, like where you kick the ball, not where you throw the ball,
Yeah.
not the football
Not
where you throw the
that,
ball.
but
And actually, vacation. I try to go on to vacation with my girlfriend, which is not really working out that well because you know how it is. I have when I have nothing to do, I have lots of time during the day, but there are always like those appointments who really cut through a whole week. So
yeah, right.
we're those people who
Right.
never get booked anything. But I'm going to NAMM show again, so
Very good.
that's my vacation.
Yeah, very
Oh,
good.
that's sad.
Go to Southern California for a week
Yes,
and be crazy.
yes. That's not healthy at all. So.
No, it is not.
But it's fun. Looking forward to it. With my own bass for the first time.
For the first time?
Yes, of
Very
course.
good. So talking about the new bass,
Yes.
it's an idol maker. It's the latest model Warwick came up with.
Exactly.
As you said, it's a warm sounding bass. I suppose you have a mahogany body. What is it?
No, it's swamp ash
Swamp ash?
and a maple neck,
Mm-hmm.
palisander fretboard. we
Rosewood?
call it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the wood used, and it's great actually. To be honest, I was kind of going. I heard a lot of stuff about Warwick bass. You know how it is, like metal, funk, and stuff.
Yeah.
And one day I said to Hans Peter, you know what? I don't care what everyone's saying. I really want to work with you. You're treating me so good, and it all looks fantastic. So, and the new Idolmaker model is fantastic. So, let's build a bass. And then Marcus gave me some advice. What would sound like the sound I wanted, or the basses I played before.
Mm-hmm.
And he was completely right. I mean, everyone I'm showing the bass to is like, that's a Warwick bass. It looks great and it sounds warm, and I can't believe it. So we proved that pop music can be played with a Warwick bass,
See,
which is pretty
people.
good.
So and yesterday I heard you have plans for another bass.
Yes.
What's that about?
It's basically the same because I need at least 2 models for the big tours. We have an arena tour coming up in March, and we have 2 stages. So I need 2 basses at least.
Mm-hmm. You're doing
Note.
your in the crowd stage thing again,
Yes.
like you did on the MTV Unplugged tour.
Oh, wait, maybe we have to cut that out. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. No, das müssen wir vielleicht wirklich rausschneiden. Schneidest du ja, ne?
Nee, eigentlich nicht.
Echt nicht?
Nee.
Geil. Na gut. So I need at least 2 basses for that. and maybe a third one. Side note to Markus Spangler. I will come quickly after the next one is ready. So next one is going to be cream white, and no gimmicks at all. Like my first one has an LED ring outline.
Which looks totally gay, people.
It's so good. Gay is not a bad thing.
No, that's right.
So it
that's
might
right.
look gay.
We're not homophobic.
No. I like it. I was a bit afraid that it was too much, but to be honest, I like it. And I've seen
No,
that in
it'll-
TV shows. In TV shows, the camera is catching the bass way more than before, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
But not the player.
No,
Or-
I don't care. Who cares about the player?
Okay.
Hans-Peter doesn't care about.
That's, that's right. Doesn't care about the face.
Yes, and yeah, it's gonna be just a beautiful Olympic white, no, cream white idolmaker bass
Mm-hmm.
with silver hardware, I think. Yes, silver hardware.
And it's only 4-string?
Yes. Yeah, maybe I don't have played 5-string basses for a long time now. The last time was with a hip hop artist named. No, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm too embarrassed. With a hip hop artist, a German hip hop artist,
I'd tell you later.
Bushido, and that's the last time I used a 5-string bass, to be honest. So we're tuned down a whole step in Revolverheld. So I play D, G, C, F, and I don't need a 5-string bass. So let's see what the next will be then.
Mhm.
I guess it's gonna be a 4-string because I just need backup basses.
Yeah, sure.
Because you know how it is. If you don't bring a backup bass, your
You n-
string will break.
You need it.
Yes.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm getting idol makers all over the place.
Very good.
I love them.
So we're now here at the GitCon event at the Warwick headquarters, where a lot of videos are done and stuff. Are you into doing videos? You were talking about social media and everything. Are you going? Are you into doing videos like reviews or practice tips or playthroughs through your songs or something like that?
No. But no. But actually, about the playthrough things, playthrough videos, I thought about that. Actually, because sometimes, when I have to learn a song for like Monday, we had a jam on Monday, and I learned the songs for the jam.
For the jam.
You get
Learning
really
songs
mad about that.
for the jam.
Sometimes I wish there would be a video of the bass player who originally played the thing on the internet, because that would be awesome.
Mhm.
So I thought about doing that. Maybe that's interesting.
Instead, there are 3 million videos of guys
Playing it wrong.
more or less good.
Kind of playing the song.
Yeah.
So. Yes, but actually I thought about that, and yesterday we played together in 2 videos. You remember that? The
We
Billie
do?
Jean?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
We did 2 videos yesterday.
So that's fun. That's stuff I like,
Yeah.
actually. Like creative stuff. And I'm not let's call it, I'm not a show off player who's like tapping and slapping and stuff like that. So I don't know what to play when somebody asks me to play, because I can play like 8
Straight 8.
notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can play them over, but it's not really my style. So I like the idea of coming up with 8 bass players playing Billie Jean 1 note at a
Mhm.
time, or playing this other song 5 players
What
on
was
1 bass.
Big Bottom.
Spinal
Spinal
Tap.
Tap,
yeah.
exactly.
That was fun.
6 bass players on 1 bass.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like doing that, actually. I hope that will happen today.
Again?
Some more. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
Some creative stuff.
Very good. So, thank you, Chris.
Yes.
Thanks for the time, and hope to see you again very soon.
Yes. We will.
Actually, in 5 minutes.
Thank you.